Hi guys, good afternoon. How are you?
Fine, miss.
Okay.
¿Qué tal,
Well,
profe? Buenas.
I didn't upload you anything because I consider that we have enough time to review what we were supposed to do in the last class and also in this one. So let's just start with what I was explaining you last class, which is the part of the adjective clauses. So I was telling you last class that it is exactly the same, the relative clauses and adjective clauses. This topic was presented originally as relative clauses, but I found the information as adjective clauses, and at the end, they are exactly the same. So I was telling you that an adjective clause is a part of a sentence that gives us more information about a noun or a pronoun. So it is not replacing the noun or the pronoun. It is just giving us, well, it is replacing it by the part that I don't need to say the noun again, but it's just like giving more information about the original subject or noun or pronoun. For example, I love the shoes that you are wearing. That in this sentence is referring to the shoes. So if I say I love the shoes, I can actually say I love the shoes you're wearing. But if I say I love the shoes that you're wearing, it's like we're being more specific and giving more information about the shoes the person is wearing in this case. The pineapple which I bought isn't very fresh. The pineapple which is referring to the pineapple. So I was telling you that we have adjective clauses are introduced by relative pronouns. So these relative pronouns are like, some of them are for people, some others are for things, some others could be for both, and some are for places, and some others are for time. And we have which, when, where, whom, whose, and that. Let's first start with who, which, that, and whom. The relative pronouns who, which, and that are used as subjects of verbs in adjective clauses. In the clauses below, that, which, and who are the subjects of the verbs be, sell, and teach. For example, the man that is cooking the steak is my friend Carlos. The man that is cooking. So that is also a subject because I have the verb next to it. The man that is cooking. So that is referring to the man. The store which sells that kind of furniture is IKEA. So which is referring to the store. The teacher who teaches. So teaches is the verb, who is referring to the subject, and the subject is the teacher. The relative pronouns who, whom, which, or that are commonly used as objects of verbs in adjective clauses. You can tell the difference because the subject in the clause is not a relative pronoun. So, for example, do you know the guy that I'm talking about? Okay, so here, if you see, for example, in the examples that I have here, en los ejemplos que tengo aquí arriba, that, which, and who, me estoy refiriendo al sujeto, que lo tengo justo antes de esta relative pronoun, relative clause. Relative pronoun. Y aquí abajo, estoy haciendo, for example, if I ask you, do you know the guy that I'm talking about? Estoy haciendo referencia a la persona de la que yo estoy hablando, the guy that I'm talking about. The country which you visited last year is Thailand. So I'm talking about the country which is just like giving more information about that country. The doctor who you saw was helpful. Who is for people, in this case, the doctor. I really didn't like the person whom we met last night. Okay, in this case, who and whom are used for people, not things. Whom is only used when the relative pronoun is an object and is more formal than who. Por ejemplo, aquí en este caso no están funcionando tanto como sujeto, porque el sujeto va al inicio de la oración. Está funcionando como un object porque estoy hablando, o se está recibiendo la acción de met. The person whom we met. Entonces el whom se puede colocar cuando está recibiendo la acción del verbo y aquí me comenta que es un poco más formal que who. For example, teachers are people whom I really respect. Teachers are people who I really respect. At the end is basically the same. Whom is a little bit more formal. I'm sorry. That can be used for both people and things, which is only used for things. The library that we visited was quite beautiful. The library which we visited was quite beautiful. The officer that spoke to us was quite rude. So again, that could be used for people and things, which could be used only for things. Who's, where, and when. This is kind of easier because these are for, okay, well, it says in here, the relative pronoun whose can be used in adjective clauses when it is important to show possession. Possession, when we're talking about that something that someone else possesses. Whose must be followed by a noun. It can be used for both people and things. For example, the man whose medication is on the seat left 5 minutes ago. What does this mean if I use this sentence? It means that I am seeing some medication on the seat. So I'm saying, oh, the man whose medication is on the seat, he left. So I'm talking about the person that just left and left the medication on the seat. I work for a clinic whose doctor went to high school with my father. Whose doctor? I'm talking about that this doctor works in this clinic. Well, I'm talking more about the clinic and making it like, for example, I work for a clinic whose doctor, so I'm talking about a clinic where I work and this doctor belongs to the clinic. This is the man whose food is from the restaurant nearby. This is the man whose food is from the restaurant nearby. So it's talking about the food that this person has. Where can be used in adjective clauses to describe places and when to describe time. Both when and where are only used in adjective clauses and not. For example, let's go to the restaurant where we ate dinner last night. The building where we worked out has 4 floors. Saturday is the day when we shall meet. We met during the weekend when I had an important doctor's appointment. So these two are very easy to use because when it's only for time and where is used for places. So now, I know it is a lot of info, but I consider it isn't hard because I'm not replacing anything. I'm just adding these expressions or these words to give more information about my subject or object, about my nouns. Tell me, questions?
Yo no entendí muy bien, profe. O sea, el that, which y el who es para indicar a las personas, ¿no?
Pero which is only for things, es solo para cosas. That who se puede utilizar para personas. Where, para lugares, and when, para tiempo. Whose es como de pertenencia. Por ejemplo, aquí, the man whose medication is on the seat left 5 minutes ago. Si yo traduzco, por así decirlo, esto sería el medicamento del hombre que se acaba de ir. No, a ver, ¿cómo sería para traducirlo? The man whose medication is on the seat left 5 minutes ago. El hombre o el dueño, por así decirlo, ¿no? El dueño del medicamento que está en el asiento, se acaba de ir hace 5 minutos. Entonces es como que el dueño o de, por así decirlo, ¿no? I work for a clinic whose doctor, o sea, el doctor de la clínica went to high school with my father. Entonces whose es para indicar posesiones. Vamos a practicar aquí y luego ya me dicen si hay algo que no entiendan, ¿ok?
Ok.
So it says, complete each sentence with the correct relative pronoun, choose all possible answers. Esto lo vamos a resolver juntos. No puedes cargar el documento, entonces lo vamos a responder aquí. So it says, that is a cooking show that I watch or which I watch. ¿Por qué? Porque me estoy refiriendo al cooking show y un cooking show es una cosa. Next, he was on the first scientist linked smoking cigarettes to cancer. He was one of the first scientists linked smoking cigarettes to cancer. ¿De qué estoy hablando aquí o a quién me estoy refiriendo?
Esa es who.
¿Ok? Bueno, pero no respondieron mi pregunta. ¿A quién, de quién estoy hablando o de quién es la oración? De una persona.
Scientist.
Por los científicos.
It's a person, right? Very good. So he was one of the first scientists who linked smoking cigarettes to cancer. Okay. Letter B. She is a teacher, inspires me. Look at the words. Which one? Who? Pudiera ser who o pudiera ser that, right? She's a teacher who inspires me, or who's the teacher that inspires me. I'm gonna choose both. C. A pediatrician is a kind of doctor treats children. Who am I talking about? Okay, that. That is the bank my father works. Now I'm not talking about a person. I'm talking about a bank. And a bank, well, it's a thing. So that is the bank. But more than a thing, I'm talking about the place where the father works. So that is the bank.
Where?
Bueno,
Where, yeah, I gave you the answer, but sorry. That is a bank where my father works. ¿Por qué? Porque estoy hablando de el lugar. Permítanme. Okay, I'm sorry. Letter E. She's a nutritionist, works with seniors to improve their eating habits. Who are we talking about? Or what are we talking about?
No es that
Ah, pero ¿de qué hablo aquí?
de que
Pues,
es
nutriólogo.
nutrióloga,
Ajá, de la nutritionist, right?
nutricionista o nutrióloga, no sé.
Como es una persona, I can use that or who. Good. Letter F. This is a new diet everyone is talking about. What do you think?
bueno,
Which?
When.
When. ¿Por qué when?
porque indica tiempo.
Pero no estamos hablando de tiempo. ¿De qué estamos hablando?
Diet.
Estamos hablando de la new diet.
Sería wish.
Pudiera ser wish o pudiera ser that. This is a new diet that everyone is talking about, or this is a new diet which everyone is talking about. Recuerden siempre fijarse quién es el sujeto en la oración para ver de quién estamos hablando, o el objeto en este caso que también pudiera ser, ¿no? Okay, letter G. She is a friend, is always willing to help. Who am I talking about?
Who?
Who? She's a friend who is always willing to help, or that is always willing to help. H. My first year in university was a time I was most active and into sports. What am I
When?
talking exactly? When? My first year in university was a time when, because I'm talking about time. And here I have literally the word time. Next, she's a student, always exaggerates.
That.
Okay, that always exaggerates. Very good. J, salt is the thing my mother needs to avoid. What am I talking about?
Which.
Which, or that. Now it says, join each part of sentences together using an adjective clause. Las vamos a unir agregando un adjective clause. Recuerden que los adjective clause sería who, that, which, when, where, or whose. For example, the house is haunted. I live in it. The house that I live in is haunted, or the house which I live is haunted. Hey, I read the food guide, she gave it to me. How can I connect it using a relative clause? Or using a relative pronoun to make it a relative clause? I read the food guide. What? How can I connect it with a relative pronoun?
She gave to me.
Yeah, but I need to add a relative pronoun. For example, that, who, which, when, where.
Sí, pues va, that cannot, that she gave to me, or which she gave to me.
Okay. Here it could be which, or it could be that. I read the food guide, which she gave to me, or I read the food guide that she gave it to me. The soup was delicious, I ate it. How can I connect it?
That soap was delicious.
No es necesariamente que tengo que usar las dos tal cual. Si se fijan en la primera, puedo como que mezclarla, pero tengo que agregar un relative pronoun. Entonces sería the soup. What did I do with the soup?
Which.
Which what? ¿Qué hice con la sopa?
Which ate.
Which I ate. Y luego, how was it?
Delicious.
Was delicious. The food which I ate was delicious, or the food that I ate was delicious. It says in here, my dental checkup was much better than the last one. It happened last week. So, hasta aquí primero vamos a identificar el sujeto. ¿Quién es el sujeto? Or what am I talking about, first of all? What am I talking about in this sentence?
El dentista.
No, dentist. It doesn't say dentist at all here. What am I talking about? Tell me.
Dental.
My dental checkup, que sería como la revisión dental, right? My dental checkup, that would be the subject or the first part in the sentence. My dental checkup. When did I have it?
Last week.
Last week. So how can I connect it? My dental checkup. What? How can I connect it to that it happened this week or something like that? My dental checkup. What is a dental checkup? Is it a thing? Is it a person? Is it a place? Is it a what?
That it happened.
Well, that I had, pudiera ser, that I had last week. ¿Qué pasó con este dental checkup? My dental checkup that I had last week.
Was much better than the last one.
Very good. Was much better than the last one. Next one says, the health study shows several benefits of a plant-based diet. The university just published the health study. ¿Cómo puedo conectar estas oraciones? Hacer una sola con toda esta información. ¿De qué estamos hablando en esta oración? ¿Cuál es el sujeto, por así decirlo? Pueden identificar el sujeto siempre, el sujeto siempre está antes del verbo. Entonces, ¿cuál es el sujeto en esta oración?
The health study.
The health study, ajá. The health study. ¿Qué pasó con el health study? Terminen de leer la oración y busquen. What happened with the health study?
Published the health study.
Who or what?
Mm,
¿Quién lo hizo? Who published it?
University.
The university, ajá. So how can I connect that? The health study.
Where
Si uso where, me refiero al lugar, pero yo estoy hablando de qué lo publicó, no tanto. Entonces, the health study,
the university.
the university. ¿Qué hizo la universidad?
Just published.
Just publish. ¿Qué pasa con eso? Ahora sí busquen el verbo, aparte de este. The health study that the university just published, what?
Show several benefits of on plant-based.
Very good. Ok, les voy a dar unos minutos para que hagan estas tres ustedes solos, ¿ok? Quiero que lo intenten. Recuerden que no tienen que unir literalmente todas las palabras, sino que hay que identificar el sujeto, qué pasa con el sujeto y encontrar si es una cosa, una persona, un lugar, lo que sea, para encontrar el relative pronoun adecuado. Is it clear?
Okay.
Yes.
Just how we've been doing it, así como lo estábamos haciendo, I just want you to do it by your own, okay? Copy it as evidence, and well, basically, that's it for now. Entonces, please, just these three, and then we're gonna check. I'll give you 5 minutes, maybe. How are you doing?
Yo todavía no.
Okay. Okay, what about if we start and then we can help each other, okay? So letter E says, a witness told the police what happened. The witness wasn't very credible. So what is the subject in this sentence?
A witness.
Okay, a witness and,
Yo le puse that
okay, the witness that what?
not very credible.
The witness that, but what did this witness do? The witness
¿Cómo?
that what?
Told the police.
The witness that told the police what happened, what? That witness that told the police what happened, what?
Wasn't very credible.
Wasn't very credible. F, I met a woman, she was interested in urban farming. So,
It says I met a woman who was interested in urban farming.
who was interested in urban farming. I met a woman who was interested in urban farming. Letter G, it says, she painted a picture. I depicted a beautiful field. It depicted a beautiful field of sunflowers. So she painted a picture, would be the subject. She painted a picture, and what's going on with this?
Which
Which what?
he depicted a beautiful field.
Uh-huh. Which depicted a So, could you do it? How was it? We still have more, but I wanted you to try those by your own. Vamos a hacer la letra H. It is a recipe, and the recipe was created by my grandfather. So,
Recipe, ¿qué era, profe?
recipe es una receta. Es a subject en este caso, ¿no? It is a recipe. What's going on with the recipe? It is a recipe. Es una cosa.
Which.
Which what?
Which was created by my grandfather.
By my grandfather. Uh-huh. Good. I says, I met an athlete. She has been to the Olympics 3 times. What am I talking about? What is the subject? Or
An
what is
athlete.
the first part? What?
An athlete
I met an athlete. Uh-huh. What's going on with this?
who has been to the Olympics 3 times.
Mm-hmm. Who has been to the Olympics 3 times? J. He believes in all the health myths. The myths are spread online. So, he believes what? Or, uh-huh. He believes. What does he believe in? He believes.
That.
But I first need to know, what does he believe in? What does he believe in?
In all of the helmets.
In all of the health myths, ahora sí. In all the health myths, what?
Sería that are spread online.
Very good. That are spread online. Questions about this? ¿Preguntas sobre esto? En realidad, yo creo que yo en un ejercicio nunca les pediría que reescribieran una oración, porque sé que puede ser confuso. Sin embargo, sí les pediría que pusieran el relative pronoun que haría falta para conectar. ¿Cómo se sienten con esto?
Pues a mí se me hizo un poquito mejor este que el otro ejercicio.
Ok. Bueno.
Pero sí es más fácil el otro. O sea, es más fácil el otro, pero aprendí más en esto.
Ok, muy bien. Vamos a hacer una pausa entonces, se va a acabar la sesión. Vamos a regresar, ¿ok?
Ok.